First at 4, breaking news at a $400 million deadline, the heated debate at Detroit City Council, and what else is at stake. Shattered glass, police body cam video, and new information about a school shooter's background. We have the very latest from Nashville, and Brandon Rue is here.
Karen, good afternoon. We are tracking a little snow and a little weekend rain coming your way first at 4.
The planets are aligning tonight. I'll show you what it means astronomically as well as astrologically.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. We've been following breaking news all day at Detroit City Hall. The battle over those tax incentives for a project called District Detroit has reached a critical point with $400 million hanging in the balance. Rod Maloney is following every single move, joins us live at City Hall with the very latest. Where do things stand, Rod?
Well, as we speak, City Council is in the process of voting District Detroit. That is the $1.5 billion development over on the Cass Corridor behind LCA and over by Cass Tech High School. Now, here's the thing. We've been here since 10 o'clock. People lined up saying they wanted it, they don't want it, and then Council had their opportunity to discuss what they thought was going on. And City Council was pretty serious about making sure that there are benefits for Detroiters, Detroit-based businesses and disadvantaged businesses. And so they have spent the afternoon going back and forth with the developers, with the Stephen Ross organization and also Olympia Development, trying to get language put in there that makes it very clear and specific that Detroiters need to benefit from this program. But the city is going to be giving something on the order of $750 million worth of tax abatements and the like. And there's also that $400 million in the balance that's state money that if they don't vote today, they lose. And so this is the exchange that we saw just about an hour ago between Conrad Mallett, the city council, make that the city's general counsel, and also Mary Sheffield, the president of the Detroit City Council.
We know what it is that City Council aspires to do. And I think that based on the framework of the language in front of you, you know the extent of the developer's commitment. And because it's in the community benefits agreement, it is enforceable and it will be measured by this body.
What's in the community benefits agreement does not clearly indicate that any of the $100 million be allocated to disadvantaged businesses, not whatsoever. And not only does it also does not indicate a threshold or a spend target per year, which I've requested as well too.
And so in the end, they had to go back, that's Olympia and the Ross organization, had to go back and rewrite the entire agreement and add on to it some of the things that they committed to, which was like $350,000 a year for 2 years going to certain city organizations based on what they're working on and so forth. And the $400 million certainly is in the balance. So like I said, there are about a dozen different things that they're voting on, but it looks like they're approving it by fairly slim margins. But I have to go back up inside and find out more. We'll certainly bring you more coming up with Local 4 News at 5. So reporting from downtown Detroit, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, we do appreciate it. We'll check back with you at 5. Thanks, Rod. Well, Detroit police need your help right now. They're trying to solve a shooting that left a 9-year-old boy and a 27-year-old woman both injured on the city's east side. Surveillance photos of 3 men are the biggest clue. Right now, police are calling them persons of interest in this case. The victims were at an abandoned hookah lounge at a strip mall at Gratiot near East State Fair Drive. Police say someone came to that building and then started firing shots. The 9-year-old was hit in the stomach. The woman was shot in the hip area. Investigators are searching for a motive, so if you recognize any of those men, please call Detroit police. An anonymous letter has led to criminal charges and arraignments for 2 Wayne County employees facing fraud charges. That letter accused a total of 3 men who work for the Bridge Department of using county materials and equipment during work hours to refurbish a private business. 2 of the suspects went before a judge today and were given $1,000 personal bonds. All 3 workers are suspended with pay during this investigation. Okay, let's take a look outside over in Ann Arbor. Sure feels and looks like early spring, right? Not too bad over there. Meteorologist Brandon Rue is in for Kim Adams today with your first forecast. Hey, Brandon.
Good afternoon, Karen, everybody. What a nice day out there. Look at all the 50-degree temps. Well, it's 9 Celsius Windsor, 50 West Bloomfield. Kurt Lawson, West Bloomfield PD Deputy Chief. 50 there, 50 in Livonia, 53 in Taylor. And maybe you're heading to the Fisher Theater tonight. Maybe you're heading to the Red Wings game or just out for a walk. It's going to be middle upper 40s through the rest of the evening. But Karen, I am tracking a little Wednesday trouble coming up.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, the grief is still sinking in. Many questions still need to be answered more than 24 hours after that deadly school shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. President Biden ordered flags to be lowered on federal buildings, including the White House, to honor the lives lost. Today, we are learning more about the suspect. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom with the very latest information on that. Kim?
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. Most of the new information is about the shooter's background, but the exact motive behind the rampage is still not clear. We've also been gathering new video that shows how the shooter got into the school. Surveillance video shows a shooter, now identified as a transgender person, shooting through a glass door to get inside. Other cameras show the shooter roaming the hallways. Today, police tell us they believe the victims were chosen at random. 3 students and 3 adults, all shot to death. We're also seeing body cam video of police rushing into the building. Eventually, officers shot and killed the suspect to stop the rampage. Police also revealed today the shooter was under doctor's care for an undisclosed emotional disorder. Police say the suspect bought 7 firearms in recent years, all legally, and hid the guns from their parents, who say they didn't know anything about those weapons. The shooter was a former student at the Covenant School and may have had some resentment about going there. The suspect also left behind a manifesto. Police are still analyzing that. A friend of the shooter says she received a text message before the shooting saying something bad was about to happen, but she never imagined how it would end.
I sent the message to my dad, and I was like, do you think I should say something or find somebody? He texted back, yes, in all caps. So after that, that's when I started making calls. I called the suicide prevention hotline, and then they told me to call the Nashville's deputy office.
You'll hear more of that young woman's story tonight on NBC Nightly News. Plus, we'll have updates from Nashville every hour at 5 and 6. For now, Karen will toss it back to you in the studio for more news of the day.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Also coming up at 6, our Jacqueline Francis is taking a close look into where gun control efforts stand here in Michigan 6 weeks after the deadly shooting at Michigan State University. It is being called a parade of planets, a rare celestial occurrence that starts this evening, allowing us to see things with the naked eye that we rarely see. It's also a big event in the world of zodiac signs. Paula Tubman shows us what all the buzz is about.
The planets are aligned. That's a phrase we bandy about all the time. But what does it actually mean scientifically, astronomically, as well as astrologically? It's a big deal for both. Let's start with the basics. Meteorologist Ashley Barrissey makes it easy to understand what's happening in the sky.
A rare 5-planet alignment of Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Uranus, and Mars will be visible in the western sky.
And this is what it means astronomically. Michael Narlock, a professor of physics and astronomy and the head of astronomy at the Cranbrook Institute of Science.
One of the things it tells us straight away is our understanding of the mechanics of how the solar system behaves. It's pretty darn good.
And here's what it means when the planets align astrologically. Crystal Wilson is an astrologist and numerologist with Enchanted Divas in Detroit.
These occurrences don't happen very often astrologically when the planets do that, especially 5 of them. So it's helping us internally and as a society realign.
In terms of astronomy, the study of space and stars, this is a big deal. We'll be able to see a planet we rarely see. Uranus. It is such a distant planet, it's hard to get a glimpse of with a human eye, but we'll see it. And depending on if we're standing in a field with just our peepers,
You're going to see some bright dots in the sky.
Or level up with binoculars.
You will see more detail on Jupiter. You can see 4 of Jupiter's moons.
Or really level up with a telescope.
On Mars, you might be able to see the polar ice caps.
And astrologically, the study of movements and relative positions of celestial bodies and their influence on human affairs in the natural world.
And astrology has a way of helping people better understand themselves and how to navigate life.
There's a cosmic shift afoot. Fire signs, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius must expect change and expect it to be uncomfortable, but necessary for growth. Earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo, you'll be forced to move away from practicality and lean into those emotions. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, this event affects you the least, but you might feel a pull to honor your emotions and not be so hogtied to intelligence. Water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, this astronomical event is mammoth astrologically, so look to be more self-directed and less influenced by the influence of others.
Right now, the way that the planets are aligning, there's going to be a major focus on humanitarian pursuits, on what is for the greater good of humanity.
Yeah, we need a little bit of that. Okay, major geek alert going on right here. This is what you're going to look at. Look west into the sunset. Careful, that sun is setting. It's bright. Don't look into the sun. Jupiter and Mercury, first thing on the horizon, they're going to disappear fast. Then you get Venus. Poof! Brightest thing in the sky, Uranus. Yes, that's the way you say that. Very distant, probably need binoculars to see that. And then you have Mars. It'll have a red hue, even if you don't have binoculars, by the way. If you want to go to see it with a telegraph, Karen, Cranbrook Institute, that great big old telescope, Friday nights. Tell them what you want to see. They'll point the telescope there so you can see it for yourself. Yay!
I love it. And you dumbed it down for me. You explained it so well, so I appreciate it. Thank you, Paula.